but you can call me Dante the Demon Killer. Has a nice ring to it, don't you think?
There hasn't been a more controversial character redesign in recent memory than Ninja Theory's interpretation of Dante in their new Devil May Cry game. Most discussion surrounding the character is dominated by the idea that the character is bad because he doesn't look like the original. While it is true that this new Dante looks radically different from the original, that isn't the only problem with him by a long shot. Nearly everything about his character is just bad, regardless of whether you're comparing him to the original Dante or looking at him as his own entity. First, we need to address that while the creative director of the game, Tamim, claimed to not care what fans thought of his version of Dante, there have still been many dramatic changes to his character to make him more like the original. What first appeared as a quiet, emotionally unstable smoker is now a wisecracking womanizer who hasn't even been seen touching a cigarette. In theory, this is a good thing. Giving him some of the defining aspects of the original Dante's personality should redeem him at least somewhat in the eyes of the fans. But these traits don't work when applied to this character, and in the end, a lot of it comes across as poorly thought out pandering. Though his model has been changed slightly, his design is inherently the same, so he feels torn between an appearance made for one character and a personality made for another. They don't go well with each other because they weren't made for each other, and now he feels like he has no real vision behind him. Even then, his personality is too oppressive and sour to fit the character he's trying to be. Characters like this are so endearing because they're fun to watch and listen to. But anytime the new Dante tries to do something cool or say something clever, it comes across as mean-spirited and as a result, off-putting.
It'll kill you.
Don't draw attention.
On your prom date, you ugly sack of shit.
The problem isn't just that he's unlikable. There are many characters out there that are great because of their unlikability. I do a series filled with them. The problem is that he's attempting to be liked while being unbearable. He actually reminds me a lot of Travis Touchdown from No More Heroes. Except Travis is supposed to be this bombastic idiot trying really hard to emulate the cool characters that he's a fan of. And New Dante is actually intended to be cool. They've put a lot of effort into trying to make him appeal to fans of the original Dante, and not just by revamping his personality. Take his Devil Trigger form, for example. Instead of giving him something unique, they recolored his hair and jacket to look like the original Dante's. They could have given him something really cool, and it might have been the bright side to an otherwise bad character, but they decided to throw that potential away for this. I'm sure this drastic character change has thrown the writers through a loop. Now they have to adapt to his new characterization and quickly come up with a bunch of one-liners to sprinkle around in the game, and it shows. The quality of writing here is awful at times.
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
It's such an ignorant view of what being cool is.
Whoa! You're not coming in. You're not on the list.
I am now.
Some of this stuff doesn't even make sense.
Just like your
Poor mother. I don't know my mother, but if you're calling me a son of a bitch, you wouldn't be the first.
I'm actually surprised the dialogue is so bad. These are the same people who made King Bohan, and I think his dialogue is brilliant. I wouldn't have as much of a problem with Dante's lines if he didn't read all of them with this obnoxious slur.
There are demons everywhere, in every level of society, in every part of the world. Count them. Ebony, Ivory, I miss you girls.
The original Dante was clean-cut and sharp, and this was reflected in nearly every aspect of his character. Yet he still had a great sense of humor and the ability to make fun of himself. That level of style yet approachability is what made him such a fun character to play as and watch. Sloppy would be the best word to describe this new Dante. Just look at the way he animates, talks, and dresses. It all comes across as sloppy, and I guess that's what they're going for. He's supposed to be cool because of how unengaged he is, but he just comes across as dirty and lazy.
Picked a bad day for a hangover.
Ninja Theory decided to take the series in a weird direction with this game. Its story is now a social commentary, all about how the government is evil and everyone is brainwashed by the media. Dante is characterized as this guy who can see the world for how horrible it is. The guy who's right, and you should agree with. He's an edgy rebel against society who hates the government because it's run by demons who want to false advertise cheeseburgers to people. Naturally, he's teamed up with This World's Anonymous to take down Fox News and their giant evil Bill O'Reilly face. He was apparently tortured by demons as a child growing up in an orphanage, but wouldn't it make more sense for someone who grew up with that kind of trauma to act like this, rather than this? Ninja Theory was apparently chosen to make this game because of how amazing their writing is, but this is coming across as something you would read in a bad fanfiction. It's definitely not living up to their goal of matching the standards of film and literature.
Dante, that's madness. You would risk the future of mankind for a girl.
Cat put herself through hell to protect us.
We'll do it your way.
Maybe I wouldn't have a problem with this remake if it wasn't done in such a disrespectful way. Ninja Theory doesn't like the Devil May Cry series, and they don't respect its legacy. To them, it's just a stupid action franchise with bad characters and a terrible story, which is holding back the medium. They think their Dante is better, and that their game is better. I do think this game has some redeeming qualities. Some areas look great, and I'm really impressed by the morphing environments. This villain also looks pretty cool. The problem is that these positive aspects are only accessible through a cringeworthy story with an insufferable character as the lead. And the worst part of all of this is that we may never see the original Devil May Cry's world continued. We may never see or play as these characters again, and that's truly sad.
Hey Dante, will we meet again?